shit with parental advisory.
Sure, same.
I didn't care. But if there was some sex in there, I was out of the room. Which is really like, if you really think about it, like, so we're cool with destructive and violence, but love, get the fuck out of the room. We don't want you to see these two people embracing their...
No.
No.
No. All right, you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be, buddy.
Ready as I'll ever be, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's the Shot and a Beer Show, and I'm here with the pride of Detroit, Michigan.
I don't think I'm the pride.
You're the pride of Detroit, Michigan. Q102's Buster.
Yeah, buddy. Although it's been a long time since I've lived in Detroit, so I doubt they even claim me anymore.
They don't claim you?
Nah. Plus, when
You're the pride of Philadelphia, then, I guess.
I feel like I'm become Philadelphia's, like, nephew.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I have a great bond with Philly. And I also say this a lot. Philly and Detroit are cousins.
Really?
They're the same type of town.
You know what? I was there for the home opener for the Lions last season against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Lions should have won that game.
They really should have.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of a great run
Yep.
for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I loved the town. I love the town of Greektown.
Oh, yeah.
I love that whole setup. They have a similar vibe with all the stadiums kind of in the same area.
Mm-hmm. Comerica Park, Ford Field.
Yeah, they were still
Fox Theaters over there.
They were still playing baseball too, and we walked by Comerica. That looked like a great spot to watch the ball game.
Yeah,
and the Pistons are right down there. I didn't see where the Red Wings played.
They play where the Pistons play. At
Correct. That makes sense.
Arena.
Little Caesars.
That wasn't there when I grew up in Detroit.
No.
That arena wasn't there. The Wings played at Joe Louis, kind of right near there, and the Pistons played all the way up in Auburn Hills.
Auburn Hills. That's right.
Yeah.
That's when they had the
Malice at the Palace.
The Malice at the Palace, and they were they had who was it? They had
Chauncey Billups,
Coatesville's own Rip Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
those were the days, dude. They were a good squad.
Rasheed Wallace,
Philly's own Simon Gratz, baby.
Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince.
That was an incredible team.
Their human victory cigar, Darko Milicic. Yeah,
that's true.
He played like 5 seconds in the season that they won, and they put him in at the very end of the game that they won, and he broke his finger on the rim.
Wasn't he like their first overall pick too?
Yeah,
and they took him over
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah. So you guys are very much like Philadelphia.
Yeah,
doing silly things like that.
Absolutely,
and you've lived through the pain.
Yep.
So you know a lot about it. Well, we like to be silly on this stuff, but you kind of already started off talking about it. We'll get serious for a second. Let's talk about how did you end up in Philadelphia? I mean, this could be a long story, but I'm all for it. I want to hear.
Well, the first radio kind of moves you around.
Sure.
It's like sports. When your contract's up, and especially if there's a new program director, i.e. new head coach, they tend to move players around. And so radio's done that for me. It's been the best thing that's ever happened in my life was being able to move around and get experiences. I lived in town. I worked in studios in Flint, Michigan, all the way up to New York City. You know what I mean? So It's like Market 127 to Market 1, and I've been everywhere in between. And Philadelphia was after I left New York. I was in New York for 4 years. I came to Philly the first time. I used to work over at Wired back in the day.
Yep.
R.I.P. And then CBS came and bought Wired and ruined it, and they ruined everything. Mm-hmm. And then they don't even exist anymore in radio. But I left. I joined iHeart in Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. And then when I was in Tampa, they were like, hey, why don't you come back up to Philly? Because in our company, and even in the industry, again, much like Detroit and Philly and even, say, Boston, there's a couple other towns that have that sort of same vibe, and they're like, you're like one of the only people that kind of fit in Philly because it's a bunch of assholes. So can you go back to Philly and go do that? So about 4 years ago, I came back.
I was like, assholes. Yeah, sure, I'm in.
Why not? And I love Philadelphia. So coming back to Philly was like the dream. I always wanted to come back, and I wanted to come back not just because it was a great town, but for me personally, we were doing a lot of great things over at Wired, and we got thrown to the trash.
Right, so you got another.
And I come back and put that station in the dirt.
Let's go.
And restore some greatness in Q102. We've done so many fun things on this radio station. It's a station that just celebrated its 35th birthday and a heritage of troublemakers and, people that have gone on to create other great brands in broadcasting. And so I wanted to, sort of reignite that flame, get the city excited about this station again, and I think we've done that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history. There's a lot of history with Q102. I mean, I remember I've always listened to it as a kid, growing up, riding in the car with my mom. Q102
totally
on the radio station.
Well, and you got Elvis Duran. Elvis Duran used to be the afternoon host back in the day locally, and now we've got Elvis Duran as our morning show, and we've had that for many, many years. That does very well in the market. We've got Rach, who's basically solidified herself as like the go-to girl in the city. Bex and I doing our thing in afternoon
you guys
drive.
do a wonderful job.
We love the show. We have a lot of fun, and then Nugget. Nugget is great, man. Nugget brings around an energy and brings around people that you're like, this trail only follows Nugget. And then also we've brought Nico Oso into the broadcasting world. He was a DJ in the market, and it just made sense for him to come into the fold. And now he's sort of like our sixth man.
Nick the Bear, Nico Oso.
Oh,
makes
is
sense.
that show, The Bear?
Did you watch that?
Nah.
Great show.
Yeah, I see the clips. People are excited about it. I got to be honest. I don't watch a lot of shows.
I was just going to ask. You don't watch TV.
I watch a lot of TV.
Face.
I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of sports. I watch the news a lot. I'm psycho.
You're not a reality TV show person.
I don't like reality show, and it's really hard for me to fall into a show that like everybody's watching. I'm like, all right, I'll just hear about it from you probably.
So besides sports, what do you watch?
Like I said, I watch the news. I watch a lot of, I don't know. I watch like YouTube.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of straight up shows. Oh, I take it back. You want to know? I'm a little bit like I need comfort food sometimes when I'm watching.
So you need comfort TV.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you know what I got my girl watching? Every episode of Home Improvement. It's available now on Hulu. I swear to God, it's on Hulu right now, and we're in the second season. We've been watching it. It's great. It's
great
awesome.
show.
The comedy holds up. It's
now,
also
is that with Debbie Dunning, right?
Yes, she was Heidi, but she didn't come until season 3.
I met her.
Oh yeah,
at a golf outing.
Was she any good?
She's very good.
I could see that.
She is a character.
Oh really?
Yeah, she did the thing with like the.
No way.
Yeah, she's real funny.
Well, she had to be funny to keep up with Tim Allen.
Yeah,
I feel like
be able to take his
stuff
off camera.
Right. Well, because I feel like that's why they kicked Pamela Anderson out. She probably wasn't having it.
She probably wasn't.
All right, see you later, Baywatch.
No.
Bring in Debbie Dunn.
Bring in Debbie. Hell of a golfer.
Yeah, hell yeah.
She still got it. She's Wow, man. So maybe I got to give that a go. Maybe I
gotta, bro. The comedy still holds up, and like it's good and offensive, funny.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Not like today.
No, today sucks.
Yeah, today does suck.
Yeah.
So whatever made you want to get into broadcasting? What was that moment?
So it was a couple things. I fell in love with radio at a young age before I knew I fell in love with radio. Mm-hmm. Like when I was a kid, they launched this station, and I was not a country music fan, but they launched this station, WYCD, in Detroit.
Sure.
And it was Young Country Detroit, and it was at a time where like Shania Twain and Garth Brooks and all those things.
Kid Rock, maybe?
Nah,
he wasn't really
way
country.
later.
He wasn't country. What am I talking?
Plus, he wasn't even like a thing at this point. This was like early 90s.
Way earlier.
And my mom was a big country fan, and so she would listen to the station. I liked the station because of the jocks. The guy on in the afternoon, he was saying some shit.
Yeah.
You know? Come to find out that he actually launched a station that I worked at in my career, and it was almost like our DNA was meant to be like in the same sort of circles. But that was where I sort of started to fall in love with it. Then when I was 12 years old, I got grounded for like a year.
Why did you get grounded for a year?
Because my stepdad was a dickhead.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. He was a dick. And also, I was like a bad kid. I didn't like.
You were a bad kid.
Yeah. Not like a bad kid. I wasn't like breaking windows or sneaking out. I just wasn't.
Spray painting the side of buildings.
I did a little bit of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that in you.
I just didn't go. I didn't try in school. I never finished. I didn't turn any homework in.
Right.
I didn't. And so, like, that would always cause me to get in trouble with my bad grades and whatever. So I was
then
like,
you're grounded for a year.
I was grounded for a year, which meant everything got taken out of my room except for a radio. So I would listen. So I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't do anything. So I would listen to the radio at night, and I would listen to, like, you know, the top 8 at 8. And I would listen to, I remember this guy, Tic Tac, who I went on to work with. Actually, he used to work at Q102 at one point, too. Tic Tac was on the air at night, and he was talking all wild and, like, had on, like, chicks and going nuts. And it was a fun show.
Right.
And, you know, so I sort of, that was, like, the next sort of thing. And then it was my mom that encouraged me because she was like, look, I get it. You're not going to college. You're barely going to get by. Why don't you go and take these broadcasting classes? Because apparently you think you're funny. Why don't you go put that effort towards something? So I did, and shout out to my mom because she was right. That was sort of the best thing that ever happened to me because doing that got me an internship. And then when I got the internship, I started interning with that Tic Tac guy. And the other reason why I went to that broadcasting school was because I was a big Kevin Smith fan.
Okay.
And I wanted to be Kevin Smith. And so it was kind of like a poor man's film school because they taught you, like, how to hold a camera and how to do all that. So I was like, all right, I'll do this, Mom, because I want to do this. But then I fell in love with the radio part too. And so I liked it all. But then when I got my internship, I was interning for this night show, and we were doing club gigs, right? And I would go, the show would be from 7 to midnight.
Okay.
And then we would get off the air and go to the club.
At midnight?
Yeah. And the guy who was hosting the night show would host the club gig. He would do 2 hours.
Were you even 21?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I wasn't.
I was going to say, it couldn't have been.
Yeah, no, totally. I was 18. But it was 18 and up clubs.
Okay.
And we would, whatever. So,
yeah.
But Tic Tac would send me to go get his money at the end of the night. And he would be like, yeah, go get my, you know, payment. And I would go to the club owner, and, you know, the club owner's in there. Here.
And it would be cash?
It would be cash. And I would take this fat knot, and I would walk it over to him, and I'd be like, you start doing the math, and you're like, how many nights a week are you doing these gigs?
This seems pretty cool.
Wait a minute. So that was sort of like, all right.
There's where the light bulb went off.
Let's do this for a little bit. And a little bit became like 15 years or however long I've been doing this now, 17 years.
Unbelievable. Well, did you ever have like a dream job that you wanted growing up? I mean, I tend to say when people, you know, people always like to say, like, oh, you're living the dream, Malloy. And I truly am. I'm very happy with what I do. I'm like, I really feel like that I am. And I think you probably feel the same. But I always wanted to be David Letterman.
Oh,
like
yeah.
David
totally.
Letterman, late night. That's who I grew up on. And I had a TV in my room. And I was probably the only 10-year-old in my class that watched David Letterman every single night.
Dude, that's so crazy because I was the exact same way. I was a Leno guy. I
had some time with Leno.
But you know who I really liked?
Who?
Conan.
Oh, dude.
Conan was my guy.
Conan was my guy, too.
But I was with you. It was the same thing. When I would go to school, and they would be talking about, like, kids shows and shit. And I'd be like, I don't know. I watched Seinfeld last night. I thought that was pretty good. And they'd be like, I don't, you know.
You were a guy that watched the Simpsons Seinfeld back-to-back every night. Did they have that in your market, TV market?
Wasn't Simpsons Sunday night and Seinfeld was Thursday night?
Well, the new Simpsons were on Sunday night. But, like,
yes.
When I grew up, it
reruns.
was always the reruns. And you'd have the Simpsons at 6, I think. Seinfeld at 6:30, and then it would go into like Entertainment Tonight or whatever. So I'd always watch those with my parents, somehow maybe do my homework, and then stay up all night and watch Letterman, and then go right into Conan.
I loved all those comedians in the 90s when it was time to like read in class, and kids were like reading like Goosebumps and whatever. I was reading like Dennis Miller's book, The Rants. I remember my teacher would be like, "Are you sure you want to?"
Yeah. Wow, so the signs were always there.
Yeah,
the signs were always there.
I never wanted to be a kid when I was a kid. I wanted to be an adult.
Me too. Did you hang out with a lot of adults as a child?
I thought they were funnier.
Yeah, I did too. I was the only child. I don't know if you had.
Sort of. I had kids. I didn't have kids. I had siblings once I turned like 12. So I was an only child for a while.
Yeah, so being an only child, I mean, I feel like my mom would just drag me everywhere with adults, and I just spent a lot of time around adults. So I think that plays a big part in how you develop your personality.
Yeah, my parents, like, I would be at the house parties. My uncle taught me how to tap a keg when I was like 5 years old, and so I'd be sitting there like pumping the keg for everybody. They called me boy. They'd be like, "Oh, what's up, boy?" And I'd be like,
boy.
"Hey, you wanna? Hey, what's going on?"
Dude, very, very similar. Very, very similar to me. I remember being at Brittingham's one time, a bar which is in, I believe it's like kind of like Roxborough area, close by. It's off of the Pike there.
Yeah.
And it was like for a St. Patty's Day gathering, and somebody put a pint of Guinness in front of me when I was about like 10 or 12 years old, and they were, doing the whole thing. Oh, you want to taste the beer?
Mm-hmm.
Like, next thing I know, they turn around and the whole pint of Guinness is gone. And then they wonder. And then they wonder.
Totally.
And then they wonder, what the hell? Why are you such a maniac?
Yeah, my parents were the parents that were like, if I have a picture of me as a kid asleep on the couch, and they put a beer bottle on me.
Right,
Oh,
exactly,
he's passed out.
exactly. Yep.
Little did they know I would be that guy.
I don't know if they little.
Yeah, they figured it out pretty quickly.
They probably knew.
Yep.
But did you have a dream job? You really didn't, or you were like me. You wanted to be David Letterman.
Yeah, I wanted
You wanted to be Jay Leno.
I wanted to be on TV or the radio. I wanted to be a broadcaster. I didn't know what it meant to be a broadcaster at that time, but I wanted to be what I do.
Right.
I could say my first job that I wanted to be was a pro wrestler. So
well, same here. I always thought I was going to play minor league baseball.
Right.
And I wasn't that delusional to think that I was actually going to go play pro baseball. But I was like, you know what? I could probably.
I could be one of those old drunks that lives in like
Bull Durham,
Lehigh Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So you wanted to be a pro wrestler?
Yeah. Because when I was a kid, real little, it was the golden era, what they call of WWF at the time. So it was like Hogan and Warrior and Macho Man and all that, and I thought that was bigger than life, and it was when I was that age. So I wanted to be that. But really, I think what I fell in love with, clearly it wasn't the working out or any of that. It was the charisma and the pageantry and the presentation and being on the mic and all that. So I kind of started to realize, I just want to be an entertainer.
Right.
I just want to do that. Can't I do that? Don't they have those jobs?
Yeah, don't they have those that I can go to school for to learn how to be an entertainer? Yeah. No, they don't.
No.
You either got it or you don't.
Straight up.
Because
there's a lot of people who went to the broadcasting classes that I do that, like, no disrespect, but I'm sure they're doing something that they didn't want to be doing,
right.
Yeah,
there's definitely, I've taken voice classes before, and it'd be like really funny because like people wanted to do it or they wanted to learn it, and like you kind of like look and you're like, oh, okay, like, well, maybe I actually am very good at this. Like,
totally.
You kind of like get that vibe, 'cause
Yeah.
not everybody can do what we do.
Yeah,
I mean, not to
Well, and I mean, like, let's not like overhype it. Like, this isn't. We're not curing cancer. We're not doing anything important, but talking shit, baby.
That's it, baby. That's what we do best. Now, we mentioned Detroit. I saw you the other day. You were eating some Coney Dogs. Before the Lions NFC Championship game. Very, very sorry for your loss.
Yeah, that sucks.
How was the run though? How did it feel?
Oh, it was really cool. I mean, that's never happened in my life. I mean, it has, but I was so young when Barry Sanders was the guy. So, I didn't really get a grasp of what it was to be there. And little did I know the Lions would never be there again.
Right.
Until I'm in my mid-30s. And it was really cool to see. It was also cool to see the country rally around Detroit. That never usually happens. Usually the country hates Detroit and Philly.
Right.
So
even the basketball teams, like they had a bad.
Right. Nobody ever wanted the Pistons to win.
No.
Nobody wants Michigan to win, unless you're a Michigan fan. So to see the country root for Detroit was pretty cool. To see my boy M out there telling Niners fans to fuck off. He ain't Taylor Swift. And so, and I went into that game. First off, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the season that they were going to go 12-5 and that they were going to lose to the Niners in the NFC by 3, I would have been like, great! This is the best season of my life!
Sign me up!
And it still was. And I went into that game saying they're going to lose. Just be fine that they're going to lose. It's okay.
That's the Philly in you.
Right.
Well,
and the Detroit.
And the Detroit. Yeah, you got it probably worse than us.
Right. And it wasn't until the first half, that I was like, oh, my God, the Lions are going to the Super Bowl. I've never felt that feeling in my life. And they're up 17 at the half, and I'm slamming drinks. I built a Detroit playlist on Apple Music, and I had it cranking. I'm opening the back door in Havertown going, let's go Lions! My fiance's like, get in the house, which she was right. I should have been more humble in that. And then, what happened. But, we can get into the analytics of how that happened. But yeah, it was a great feeling.
It was a good ride.
Yeah.
It was a good ride.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned I love the town of Detroit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I got the Greek.
Did you have a Coney while you were there?
You know what? That was the one thing that I didn't have. I got got some Greek food in Greek town.
Yep. Because the Greeks, they own all the Coneys over there.
Okay.
So Coney, again, Detroit and Philly, the similarities. So, everywhere here there's a hoagie or a cheesesteak spot, and everyone's got a different. Oh, you've never been to Ray's? Oh,
yeah,
that's the
hell?
real Coney.
Yeah.
Not your shit.
Right.
Same vibe in
the
Detroit,
same vibe.
only with the Coneys. So it's like there's a different Coney spot on every corner, and everybody's got their favorite joint of how it's made.
Okay.
Whatever.
And how is it made? Could you explain for the people that don't know?
Yeah. So basically, it's the actual dog is a Frankfurter, one of those like Polish ones with the like snap on it with the case on it.
Nice.
The
nice
ones
casing,
the ones that
nutritious
in the Popeye cartoons. Remember they'd be like, old boy had them all linked together, and like you could
one of those bad boys, just snapping like a carrot.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the dog.
Okay.
And then it's not chili.
It's not chili. Okay.
It's Coney sauce.
Okay.
Very similar though. Only with no beans usually.
No beans, meat with some seasoning on it.
Meat with seasoning and broth, and you thin it out and pour it across the dog. Get the bun nice and steamed.
Steamed bun.
Yeah. Not toasted.
Okay.
Steamed. It's nice and like.
And did you steam your own when you made your?
No, I microwaved it. I cheated. But
yeah, I mean, you don't have
What am I gonna do? Steam?
Yeah. Come on, steamer.
Want to take my iron?
Yeah. What the hell?
So that's it. And like
But onions too. That's the only thing I'd probably go without.
Oh yeah. Well, traditionally it's the dog. You put the Coney sauce, sprinkle it with the little diced onions, and then mustard.
No cheese.
No, that's Cincinnati Coneys.
Okay, so that's what I would go for.
Whole different vibe.
Whole different vibe.
Yeah, and they use cinnamon in their Coney sauce.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Mm-hmm. I'd have to pass.
Yeah, it's a little
on the cinnamon.
Yeah, it's a thing. And they also put their Coney sauce on spaghetti noodles, which is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Skyline chili is
the Skyline chili. That's what it is.
Yeah, Detroit's Coney sauce is national. That's the brand.
Okay,
the big dog.
Nice. So you're a big. Are you a big hot dog fan? Are you a big hot?
No, just
a Coney once.
I'm not a hot dog fan. I like hot dogs.
You're not like the Philly Captain.
No,
300.
I saw that.
300 of dogs. He said.
Bro, if that's the case, we're not going to have our boy for a very long time.
I'm worried about it. Yeah. I mean, when he said that he eats 2 a game at the Phillies.
Yeah, damn.
I mean, I can believe it. And man, that's a lot of dogs.
Yeah,
that's a lot of dogs.
Is it the dollar dogs, or does he go get the real hot dog?
Well, he said he does a little social media work for Philly Water Ice.
Right.
And in return, he's able to get free dogs from them at their stand at the Citizens Bank Park. So
I'm convinced Philly Captain just lives his whole life for free.
I know.
On the heel of shout-outs.
I know. He's a wonder. He's
God
the
bless
wonder of the world.
I will say this. My life has gotten greater since knowing him.
Me too.
I love that dude.
He's a wonderful dude to run into at any event.
He's like a good guy. Like he's
really
an asshole. Like it's
oh yeah, you'd think he was totally.
Yeah, but he's like really like I don't want to like ruin his rep, but he's like a nice.
I know. It's great. And like the only thing that blew me away was that he doesn't like fart humor, which kind of like you everything you expect of the guy, he's kind of like he'll throw you for a loop. More.
I got to be honest, I'm the same way.
You're not a fart.
I don't
like
bathroom humor. I don't think that's that funny. Like I don't know.
Wow. I don't know. With like a fart TikTok, if it pops up, like I just.
Nah.
The only thing is then you start liking those videos or seeing.
Then all you're seeing is farts.
Yeah, so then I can get it. Yeah, because
right.
After a while, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit.
When I was a kid, it would be cool when like somebody would fart in class. You would die laughing.
Oh
Everybody
my
would just,
god,
oh.
dude, that was the best.
Or if someone like blew snot out of the. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was good.
That was good stuff. Were you the kid that was trying to get other kids to pop when they shouldn't have, like we're sitting here trying to be quiet?
Oh, I mean, I just remember you would just, like, eventually you're just, like, I guess that serotonin in your brain just kind of, like, peters out a little bit. But, like, when we were kids, I couldn't like sit there and not
Me neither.
laugh at shit.
I can't now. I know I couldn't then.
I mean, I have a little bit of control now, but like it would just be like anything, and you'd be like.
Yeah.
I just remember half of the day I'd be trying to hold in laughing.
You'd have tears bursting.
And that would even be up through high school, too.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I went to all boys school, so that was even.
I didn't go to high school, so there's that.
You didn't go to high school?
No, I left. I like stopped going sophomore year.
What?
Yeah, I stopped going my sophomore year. I just kind of like stopped showing up, and then junior year I officially dropped out.
Just a dropout.
Yeah. I worked at a pizza place down the street, and I wanted to like make money. And again,
You had a job.
I wanted to hang out with adults. They were funny to me, and so like I'd be in this school with these jerk offs, and
Right.
I'm like,
This sucks.
This
I'd rather
sucks.
go hang out with the 42-year-old guy at the pizza shop.
totally, totally. I did.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Did what I want.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a lot of things in common, and humor, maybe not farts, but we do have some humor and things that we think are funny. One of them is Joe Dirt.
Oh yeah,
And you
saw
talked
my
about
tweet.
the Joe Dirt soundtrack. Which
Well, I just bought it on vinyl.
Really?
Yeah.
And on vinyl.
Yeah.
The Joe Dirt vinyl.
Yeah. Ain't seen nothing yet. Bow, bow. That is my jam.
Baby!
Yeah.
That's great. That's one of my all-time favorite movies of all time.
It's great.
Of all time.
Very underrated.
Very underrated.
Yeah. The second one's ass though.
Horrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
No, don't watch.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself. But yeah, the first one's great, and you know that music like
Brandy, Brittany Daniels.
Brandy was
I thought,
bad in that movie.
oh my gosh, whatever happened to her?
So was what's her face?
Yeah.
I'm your sister. I'm your sister.
Yeah,
Who was
Jamie
it?
Presley.
Yes.
Jamie Presley.
Smoke too.
Another smoke show.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a big like all that music in that movie. That's what my parents listened to when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of grew that appreciation. And like, you know, it's tough nowadays. Like I'm on a top 40 station and like half the shit we play, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Right.
You know, this isn't Steely Dan.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't Seeger. I'll show you music.
What would happen if you did like just throw one of those tracks on? You'd probably
Yeah, I wouldn't have the gig for very much longer. They'd be like, go over to MMR, big guy.
All right, big guy.
Yeah. I don't think that they would. Yeah, no. And I have an appreciation. I don't not like the music of today. You know, I have an appreciation for some stuff. It's just really hard. Like, you know, when Ice Spice is doing the whole, I bet you thought her new song about farting is hilarious, huh?
See, I brought it all the way around.
Yeah,
I
you
brought
did
it
it.
all the way
Letterman
around.
over here.
Letterman.
Working his craft. Yeah.
Letterman over here.
Yeah, I can't, you know, some of that stuff, I'm like, what are we even doing? We're
It's
just
great.
chasing these.
It's great. Well, I before the show, I showed you a little bit of my, you know, my underground rap group, which,
Yeah.
you know, we might debut one of these days. You never know, may not.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's like, if you, maybe you haven't because you don't think it's that funny, but, you know, I would say 90% of people that ever freestyles with their friends
Oh, yeah.
behind closed doors,
Totally.
you probably have dropped a bar or two back in the day
about stupid shit.
farting, pooping, whatever,
Yep.
something.
Your penis.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
along those lines. And for Ice Spice, to just
Oh, yeah.
finally.
It screams, I just made a song with my 5-year-old friends for the first time ever. You know?
That's why she's one of the greatest artists of our generation.
Jeez. You're right, though, I guess. I don't know.
No.
From a metric standpoint, like, I guess, like, you kind of have to take it seriously, I guess. You know, I just don't know what anything means anymore. You know?
I know. Her
Like-
beats are good.
Like, they pimped me on
production.
that song. Capitol played me that song before it came out.
Okay.
And before they played it, they're like, listen, just so you know, this broke TikTok records for, like, pre-saves or whatever.
Right.
And they played it for me, and I'm like,
Are you serious?
where's the part where you're going to say, oh, we're just kidding. Here's the real song. They are serious.
They're dead serious.
Yeah, so, you know, whatever. I mean, look, I'm not a hater. If you're getting money, you're getting money. But,
No.
God,
Yeah.
we need something. That's why I like artists like, you know, Harry Styles' last project was pretty cool. I like that type of shit. Ed
Right.
Sheeran,
Yeah. Eddie.
Sam Smith, Adele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all good.
They're all good. Even Ariana, even though, like, every song is about, like, fucking, like, she's still got some singing talent.
Right. Very much so.
Yeah.
Love the Christmas track. Probably my favorite Christmas track.
I found out something recently about Santa Tell Me.
What about it?
They had to reshoot the video for that because her first video was too sexual.
Not surprising.
And the label was like, hey, you know this is a Christmas song, right? And your song's not even about fucking Santa. Why is the video? So I guess I should have asked if we could say fucks.
No, you could say whatever you
All right.
want. You're good to go. You're good to go. This isn't. We're not a
On the
3 to
radio?
7 drive home. No,
Yeah.
Get it all out today. So you don't have-
seriously.
But I don't want you to, when you go on today, though.
Think I'm
Yeah,
freestyling
yeah.
here,
Make sure
yeah.
you
Well,
turn it off and on.
Yeah,
I
you
don't want to get you in trouble.
you don't resemble Bex at all, so I don't think that I'll think I'm in the same environment. I think I'll know where I'm at.
Well, I am dressed as a referee, as you can see.
I can see that.
I'm going to be dressed as a referee pretty much all weekend, sleeping this thing and everything, because it's a huge weekend.
It is.
It's a big one. The big one, the one that's for all the ball of wax, the whole schmigeggy.
The big game.
Super Bowl, baby.
I don't care.
I know.
I do not care about
I
this
think
game
that's
at
a
all.
lot of people in our area.
Yeah.
It's a one where you have to watch, but you don't really want to.
I hate the Chiefs.
Hate the Chiefs.
I hate Mahomes. I hate his brother. I hate his wife. I hate Taylor Swift. I hate Travis Kelce. I hate Jason Kelce. I hate Donna Kelce.
You know what? It's so funny that you mentioned it. Somebody in my group chat a few weeks ago was the first person that I'm close to that was like, is anybody getting sick of the Kelces?
Oh, yeah. I'm so sick.
And you have a good perspective of not maybe totally idolizing Jason Kelce like majority of the people in
Right.
the
And I know
Delaware
he's
Valley.
cool. He's cool. Like, I get it. He wears flip-flops in Sea Isle and slams beer.
Yeah.
Okay, so do I.
Yeah.
Praise
That's
be.
what makes.
Although I
guess
didn't win anybody a Super Bowl, so I guess there's that.
But I guess that's why people like him so much, because he is so much like
He's
us.
a regular
but,
dude.
but
But
yeah, it's going a little overkill.
I'm over it. The show, the podcast, then the documentary with his wife. My God, can we get and like constantly with the distractions? If I ran the Eagles, I'd be like, okay, buddy, you want to do all this shit? Well, I need somebody that focuses on what's going on here.
I have a theory too about that, and I think that his whole "Am I going to retire? Am I not going to retire?" And just I think that has was a distraction at some point in time for this team. Now, is it the reason why they cratered the Philadelphia Eagles? Maybe not, but I'm sure it had maybe something.
There's no way it doesn't
do with it.
contribute in some way, those distractions. There's
Right.
no way that that's not a problem. But
Every
then
week.
again, you could say the same thing for his brother who's in the big game.
True,
So,
but they struggled for a while,
they struggled. Yeah, they barely hobbled into the playoffs.
and then here they are. They're back
Mm-hmm.
again in the Super Bowl. You don't like Mahomes, though? What's your beef with Mahomes?
I
I like Mahomes.
he seems like somebody that I would have been like pissed off with in high school. Like, I don't know, he just seems like a prick.
Yeah.
Like there's just something about him that, and then maybe it really
Is he taking your slot of Brady now? Is that what?
Nah, I don't really care about that. I don't care about that. I
Just
just
personality-wise.
yeah, his personality just kind of sucks, and maybe it's everything that surrounds him. His wife Brittany is awful. His brother sucks.
Yeah.
Now his dad sucks. Triple DUI.
Unbelievable.
Going for the highest score there,
Dude,
Mr.
man.
Mahomes.
I mean, talk about distractions.
Totally.
I've been seeing some funny memes about him. Like there was one that somebody did, the Bad Boys. The sergeant like walking up to like it's like what he's got. He's like, can we not have anything good? Like he's just like all three of you. Like, could you just please like just shut up for once?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and then I don't know. I guess there's just too much wrapped around that team. And again, maybe it comes down to maybe I'm just being a hater because they win a lot, and familiarity breeds contempt, right?
Right.
So there's a point where you're like, okay, I just can't look at this anymore. Do I have to keep looking? We felt the same way about the Patriots at one point.
That's where I was kind of coming with the Tom Brady thing.
Right,
a little
right.
bit.
Maybe there's that. Maybe there is some of that.
Elliot Shore Parks, my counterpart weekly for Bet the Birds, he mentioned, who you should be rooting for this weekend, and he mentioned that dynasties, you should be rooting for the dynasty, and I that kind of like made me I don't know about rooting for the dynasty, but who are you going to be pulling for on Sunday? Let's get to that point.
Me, I got 20 squares.
See, that's the best part about this event is that there's plethora of betting options. And
Yep.
block pools are one of the best. I just bought 4 $25 ones. So,
okay.
What's your number on these?
I
got
think
20.
Yeah, 20, and I think it's a $250 payout at the end of each quarter.
Nice.
So it's a part of a whole nother mega pool that I'm in. So
Okay.
this was actually like bonus squares that I got. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's rock.
Mega pool. What is
so-
that? The where you pick everything that happens throughout the game, or
No, it's actually pretty cool. This dude, shout out to Joe Prado. He's actually an official with the WWE, and he's put together this really cool league that we're in, and it's a mega pool. And so basically it starts out with the mega pool draft. And in the mega pool draft, you can choose if you want to be in the fantasy league, the PPR league, or the standard league.
got it?
Which I grabbed a slot in the PPR league and won that, by the way.
You won your fantasy league.
Suck it.
Holy shit!
My third time doing that, by the way.
Wow, a 3-time champion in the pride.
Me and
Detroit.
Me and Patrick Mahomes' dad, 3-time champs. So you grab a slot in whichever leagues you want to be in. You can grab a slot in the playoff fantasy.
Got it.
You also, there's a thing called My Team. You can grab any team, which I grabbed the Lions, and you get $100. You can get $100 if they win the division, and you get $500 if they win the Super Bowl. So we got that, and one of the things that you can grab in there is squares, and the top one is 20. So with my first pick, I went with the first pick of the fantasy PPR league.
Okay.
My second pick, I went with 20 squares for the big game.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, totally.
Little bit of skin in the game.
It gives me something to care
as they
about besides
call it
eating
that.
wings and slamming 100 beers.
Well, that's what I was going to get to next is what's the best Super Bowl food for you, and where are you going to be watching the Super Bowl?
I don't know yet because I really don't care about this game so much. I kind of left it all. I was like, I don't know, whatever thing I end up going to, I'll go to.
Right.
So I think we're going to go to one of my fiance's friends, and we'll go to that. And they always have, at those parties, there's always like a cool spread. There's hoagies. I always have to have the same plate when I go to these things, right? You get your disposable plate. You get your little hoagie sleeve there, I like a good pasta salad. I'm a big pasta salad guy. Yeah, I love pasta. And then, I don't know, wings. Boneless, bone in. I don't care. Some sort of spicy chicken needs to be represented on that plate.
Surprised you didn't say buffalo chicken dip. That's gonna definitely.
Oh,
be there.
love buffalo chicken.
Over wings.
Yeah, maybe. But it's two separate arenas, right? Like I'm mowing the buff chick dip before I even get my plate.
Yeah.
I'm standing near the. Oh, what'd you say?
You inhale that right when you come in the door.
Right.
Just
wash it down with beer and then make a plate.
Gotcha.
Right.
Now, what kind of beer are you drinking?
I'm a light beer guy because I don't like the IPAs.
You're not a snob bringing your own,
Nah.
6-pack of Lagunitas or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
That's not even that fancy. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But regardless, yeah, I don't really like IPAs. Plus, I don't want that much filling.
Yeah.
I want to be able to drink 100 of them.
Yeah,
so,
drink 100.
Yeah, so I like light beers, and there comes a point probably just after halftime where the beers aren't doing it.
And then
it's like, well, yeah, but also like, you got anything a little stronger? You got little Tito's, you pour
vodka, clear.
You pour a little mixed drink, or I'm a tequila guy, I like a reposado, so I'll get going on that.
I urge you to do this, and this could be something that you bring to the party.
Okay.
Either pineapple juice or orange juice.
Okay.
Maybe a bottle of tequila, a small bottle, or if they have it, then you're good.
Yeah.
But you don't want to risk it. Bring a couple Coronas. Hopefully they have Coronas.
Yep.
Drink the neck out. Drop the tequila in. Drop the pineapple juice or the orange juice in.
Oh.
Bring yourself a little thing of red, the grenadine. Put that in. A little bit of lime. Drink that in the second half.
Making all this.
Yeah, but here's all you
bottle?
need. Here's all you need is just the juice. Get pineapple orange juice.
Okay. Yep.
A couple Coronas.
Yep.
You can't drink too many of these, by the way. You'll be pissing your pants. So you get the beer, the juice, the grenadine. Hopefully they have tequila. 4 parts.
Yeah.
You bring that to the party. You bust that out at halftime. Leave it in your car. and then at halftime be like, "Hey guys,
Oh yeah,
I brought this."
give it the
And
old Christmas story. What's that under the tree? Oh, let's go check out what that is. Oh.
You'll be the hit, dude. You'll
Yeah.
be the hit, and everybody will be smashed.
I'll do it. I'll call it the Maniac Malloy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The Philly Sunrise.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Uh.
Somebody called it something. I was talking to them about it. I think they called it something along.
I'm calling it the
It's
Maniac
like a tequila
Malloy.
sunrise, but like with beer in it. Yeah, give him the Maniac Malloy.
Call it the Kensington Sunrise.
There you go. Done deal, dude. Yeah, that'll be a hit.
Yeah.
But halftime though, you can't be, fucking around too much because we're gonna be. That's what you got to look for. Usher.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. You think he's gonna bring out Bieber? That's the
Wow.
that's the rumor.
Bieber.
Yeah.
I almost said.
Boober. Yeah.
I don't know. I always look forward to them bringing out people at the Super Bowl. I think that's like so exciting.
Because he gave Bieber his first cosign and kind of pushed him out. He was delivered to us by Usher.
Sure.
Out of his own loins.
Yeah, he birthed.
Yeah, he birthed
into the scene.
Yeah, so I could see that.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I love seeing whoever. I would like to see him bust out Lil Jon.
That's a must. Is that on Bet Parks?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, I definitely think Lil Jon's coming. Lil Jon and Luda are coming for sure.
Yeah, Ludacris has got to be there, right?
They're not going to not do yeah. What is this, Jingle Ball, Usher?
Yeah, the Philly captain tipped me off about that.
Woo!
What happened there? I'm sure you can't get too.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to disparage anything. Usher's the man, and we appreciate him coming and, it helped us sell a hell of a lot of tickets. When he did his set in Detroit at the Jingle Ball there was rumors that he was doing kind of a different set.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more down-tempo, and he was making the audience kind of more part of it.
Okay.
So that was what we got in Philadelphia. Some people loved it, some people didn't.
Okay.
But
we're not going to see that on Sunday.
No, there's no way. There's no way they let him do that down-tempo. They want 20 minutes of all of his hits.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's going to
I think it's going to be one. I think it has the potential to be the best Super Bowl halftime show ever.
So when I met Usher backstage at Jingle Ball, I said to him, a couple things here, buddy. I said, first off, I said, you were the man in the faculty. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
All right. So
Forgot he was in that.
Yeah. And what else? She's All That. He was in that too.
Okay.
And I also told him, I said that that he inspired me to love Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like when I was a kid and he was the Tommy Hilfiger guy, I bought all this Tommy Hilfiger because I wanted to be cool like Usher.
Sure.
I told him, I was like, I almost wore the wave cap, but I didn't. But yeah, so I told him that. Oh,
and what did he say to the Hilfiger comment?
He's the faculty thing he laughed at.
Man.
Yeah, the Hilfiger he pointed out because I was wearing Hilfiger shoes. And he was like, oh, you're wearing it now? I was like, yeah. And then my last question that I asked him was about a picture that I've seen. I've seen this for years, and I never knew what it was. And I was like, can you tell me why this picture exists and what you guys were doing?
What is this?
It's Eminem and Usher together.
They both look really.
They're very young.
1997.
They're very young. It's 97. All right, M's giving the middle finger,
of course,
with a beer in his hand. Usher's wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt. Where the hell are you? What was this? And he was like, wow. He's like, yeah. He's like, okay. He's like, we were at a premiere. I forget what movie it was, but it was a soundtrack premiere for the movie.
Okay.
And My Name Is had just like surfaced. And then there's a line in there, women try to touch my hands like some screaming Usher fans. And so he was like, hey, man, thanks for shouting me out in your song, like whatever. And so while we were talking, someone goes, hey, pose for a picture. And M, of course, puts up his Kid Rock middle finger. And that's the picture, and that's why it exists.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That's a great story.
He's like, we were upstairs at a bar, and it just so happened, and whatever. And he's like, yeah. He goes, I could see why that picture seems weird, huh? I was like, yeah.
And you finally got the answer.
I got the story.
After all these years.
Yep.
I was with Usher one time, actually, in LA.
Sexually?
No, not sexually, as I wish I was.
Okay.
Close. We were in this club, like the song.
Oh, wow.
In LA.
Yeah.
And it was NBA All-Star Weekend. And my friend, he works with a few artists out in LA, and we went to the show, and he was there, and he was just bouncing around like.
Did you talk to him?
I didn't really. I was close to him, but it was loud, and there was like.
You were shook.
Buddy.
You were shook.
No. I think I was probably not trying to piss off my friend by like pulling Usher to the side and like being like.
Well, and there's I totally agree.
That's
with
the closest I ever got.
There are times where you're in the room with somebody and you're like, I'm not gonna fan out here. I don't want to do anything crazy. I don't want to make this a weird vibe or whatever. Right. I was in an elevator one time with Eminem.
No.
Yeah, it was like me and 10 other people. We were with the record label, and it was when the Recovery album came out, and he was doing promo for that, and it was a surprise appearance. And I was told about it. I was told to be at the Bowery Ballroom at this time. We walk in with his people, and I see 3 blacked out Denali's pull up in front of the club, and out comes his manager, Paul Rosenberg, who's really tall, and then behind him is M, who's really small. And so they're both walking in. We all walk in, and he's on one corner of the elevator. I'm on the other. And I'm like, okay, like.
What do I say? Do I act cool?
Yeah, I just didn't say shit.
You did. Damn it.
No, because what are you going to say? Hey, remember when you were Eminem? There's nothing. There's too much to say.
You should have just started rapping.
No, I'm sure
his
that
lyrics
would have went well. I'm sure
he probably
loves that. Yeah.
What do you think? She would have got a good story out of it.
I'd settle for the story.
I think it's a good story. It's a good story. Sorry, I didn't want to put your story down. I have one rapper elevator story. It was Talib Kweli in Atlanta at the AC Music Festival, and it was just me and him on an elevator because we were staying at the same hotel. And I'm not even a huge fan of his, but I like know his music. I'm not like the biggest Talib Kweli.
Did you like overly dap him up?
I did. I overly I was like, "You're the man, dude." You're like, I love your music. It was just like a glaze session in the elevator. He's like, "All right, man.
Yeah, cool.
Like, yeah.
Name a song.
Yeah, name a song." I would have been like,
the second one is good.
Just to get high. Just to get high. That's all I could have done.
Yeah.
Well, you're not looking forward to the game. You got to be looking forward to the commercials, though.
Yeah, I'm into the commercials. I'm a sucker for marketing. I love good marketing. So what I don't love nowadays is that they release the commercials before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I try to stay away from it.
I don't want to see those either.
I try to stay away from watching it.
I read a lot of Adweek, like that.
Okay.
There's a website that kind of talks about all the marketing for big brands and things like that. You know, it's what is it? What did they say? It's $7 million for a 30-second spot.
Insane.
On the Super Bowl right now.
That's insane.
And it's all sold out.
Yeah, that's like, I think knowing that kind of fucks it up for me a little bit because like I'm watching and then I'll be like super like critical of the commercial. You paid $7.5 million for that?
Yeah.
For that shit?
While you're drinking your Corona with fucking tequila and grenadine and Bloody
wing
Mary.
sauce all over my face and buffalo chicken dip.
Wearing that.
Wearing a referee outfit with a bunch of...
What a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah.
But do you have a favorite Super Bowl commercial over the years? I'm really putting you on the spot here.
I don't know about a specific commercial, but I do know that like I felt like back in the day, or maybe still today, the biggest advertisers or the most fun commercials would be Doritos and Pepsi.
Yeah.
I know Apple is now kind of big in that game, or the Apple Music stuff, especially because they sponsor the halftime show, so their commercials are now up to par. What was it last year when it was the what do they call that when you scan a barcode on the menu at restaurants? The little square
QR code.
QR code. There was a QR code
Yeah.
sort of bouncing around the screen. I thought that was cool because it got everybody to go get all crazy.
Last year was the one where they where the TV went out. Remember
that was
Amazon
good.
One? That was the best.
That was
year.
good.
That was really good.
Yeah, because there was a lot of like TikToks and Instagrams of people's like dads breaking their shit
the hell out, dude.
Yeah,
Freaking the fuck out. That was good. That was good. Do you have any first Super Bowl memory?
I mean, you got to remember growing up with the Lions, the Super Bowl is like a sore subject. But
so you were never that interested in it, maybe?
Yeah, like again, I didn't even really like football until I got older. Because as a kid, I mean, I played football and whatever. I played in the same league as Connor Barwin. We were in the same like neighborhood.
No shit.
We were on a different teams, but yeah. So, when the Super Bowl would come on, I would sort of be into it. I mean, the Cowboys were a big deal in the 90s, the Niners, Steve Young, Jerry Rice, that whole...
Those are your memories.
Yeah,
watching those bastards win.
Yeah. So that seems like the Super Bowl to me.
Did you ever have any traditions for Super Bowl, getting together with people or anything, or not so much because you weren't that into it? Really?
No, we would still go over family friends' houses, or I feel like my grandma always had the family.
Grandma's Super Bowl.
Grandma's Super Bowl.
Grandma's Super Bowl party.
Chain smoking
in the house.
Oh yeah,
cigs inside.
Lighting a cig with another cig.
Wow.
My grandma was hardcore, bro.
What kind of cigs did she smoke?
Virginia Slims.
Of course she did.
You damn right.
Of course she did.
Yeah. Well, they're healthier.
They are. They're good for you. Yeah. They're actually good for you.
Right. It's like might as well be eating a salad.
Do you have it now? This will be another one. Favorite halftime show?
Well, I loved seeing Slim Shady on the Super Bowl stage a couple years ago. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. They've been on a roll recently.
Yeah. Well, because after the Janet Justin thing, they were boring for like a decade.
Yeah.
It was like, here come the Stones again.
Yeah.
It was a tough go for a couple years. But yeah, so I'd say that sticks out. I mean, who was doing this? Michael Jackson was a big one with the kids. That was kind of cool.
Yep.
I also was a sucker for some of the shows that would be on. They would tell you to turn off the game and come over to them.
Yeah.
Like in Living Color. I don't know if you remember that show.
A little bit.
Where Jim Carrey started and the Wayans brothers and everything. I remember they did a Super Bowl halftime show. So they would tell you, once it goes to halftime, flip it over here, watch us. And it was a fun episode. Also, WWE did a cool thing, I think in 98, 99, where they had The Rock wrestle Mankind in an empty arena.
No.
And you flipped it over at halftime, and you got to watch that whole match. And I remember The Rock wrapping a chair around Mankind's head.
So there's your Super Bowl memory. That's your big Super Bowl memory.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Big.
Those are the halftimes that I sort of remember. And then, Britney was good, Beyonce was good, whatever.
Now, we know you are a bettor. You're a gambler.
Yeah.
Right? You're into gambling.
Yeah. Although, man, I got to tell you, this season.
Got your ass kicked?
Got my ass kicked.
I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah. It's like, I get so pissed when my friends will send me like, oh, look
what I did.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck off. Because I have, sometimes I feel like I'm on a roll, and I'll be good, and then I feel like I'm the jinx. Like, oh, they lost because I bet on them. Of course.
Well, I started this thing now because I've been so bad, especially with basketball, college basketball, NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Starting a new TikTok series. I am the worst online sports betting gambling influencer on the internet. Because everybody claims to be so good and giving out their picks. And oh, this is the one. This is my pick, my lock of the week, all this stuff. I'm going the opposite way. I'm going to give you picks. You just should play the opposite side. So,
wow.
If you want to change your fortune, make sure you're following me on TikTok, Maniac Malloy.
That's great.
When I give a pick out, just take the other side.
Okay, perfect.
You probably hit it like 80%, maybe 90.
I would imagine so. Have you done any of the, like, where you're at? Like, your win-loss record of the season?
Loss.
Yeah.
Very much down.
Yeah.
Down. I did have to claim taxes last year.
Oh, really?
On some slots.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Like, my tax guy was like, all right, any sports gambling stuff? I was like, nothing for you to worry about.
Yeah, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I did slots, though. I did pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm a big slot guy. Wizard of Oz, the Sisters of Oz.
I like the Wheel of Fortune.
That's a good one.
The Triple Extreme.
Very good one.
Joint.
Very good one. Any other favorites you could plug for us right now on the Bet Parks app?
That's I like that one.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, Price is Right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Price is Right is good too.
Monopoly.
I haven't played that one.
Try that one. That's a very good one. Very fun.
Okay.
It's a good one. You have a favorite Super Bowl bet maybe that you make every year? The coin toss, the anthem.
Yeah, I always
we don't offer.
Yeah, I always take the over on the national anthem.
Over.
Yeah.
I like that.
I always take the over, especially if it's a black female, because they'll get all, you know.
Take the over on the anthem. You heard it here first.
Yep. Who's singing it this year? Reba?
Reba.
She's going to throw some sauce on it. Take the over.
I think I saw there was a prop bet somewhere that was whether she was going to wear a hat or not and what color hat
really
she was going to wear.
You know Sean Brace?
Yeah.
Fox Sports The Gambler.
Of course. Big fan.
So that's our sister station within iHeart.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we get on a call, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago, whenever they announced Reba.
Mm-hmm.
We get on this like program director call where it's all the heads of the stations and whatever, and it's about to get going. And Sean Brace goes, "Hey, before we get going, am I the only one that didn't know Reba was a singer?" And we were like, "What did you think she was?"
Yeah, what?
He's like, "I don't know. I remember the show." And we were like, "You're kidding."
What show? I don't even.
She had a show in like the 90s or early 2000s that was whatever.
First for me.
Yeah, but she also had Fancy, which was like one of the biggest songs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you not know that?
Come on, Shawnee.
Yeah. So, shout out to Sean Brace for not knowing that Reba McEntire sung.
What an idiot! Now, do you have a favorite bet, though, for this weekend besides that? Besides the anthem? You already gave me your answer. I don't know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else?
I mean, I'm going to take CMC for one.
CMC for a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one who basically won me my fantasy league, so I got to ride with him.
You got to ride the
Big
CMC
game.
train.
So if I'm doing that, I guess I'm going all Niners then.
I've been on the Chiefs all week, so here we go.
Yeah. Oh, good. This is good for me.
I'm on the Chiefs, so you're. Let's just leave it at that.
I just don't want to see Taylor Swift on that field after the game, dude. If I have to see that, I'm gonna throw up my wings.
There's a bet about whether or not he's gonna propose.
No way.
You can get that in Canada.
I'll take that. No way.
I think it's like minus 250.
Definitely not gonna happen.
All your life savings.
Yeah.
Go to Canada. Go across the border.
Drop it on it. No, I don't see them using that moment to propose.
No. They've only been dating for.
Yeah, they started dating 10 seconds ago.
There it is.
Yeah, there they are. Although I heard some rumors that there might be trouble in paradise.
Really?
Yeah.
Breaking news on the Shot and a Beer Show podcast.
Yeah, I heard that after the Grammys, like their communication has been sparse at best.
Wow. She was pissed he couldn't make it or didn't go.
Right. I don't know. Maybe there was that.
I mean, it's not like it's the biggest game of one of the biggest games of his life. He's played in a bunch, but.
Yeah, what if they broke up? Like, is that on Bet Parks? They break up instead of proposing.
Plus 50,000.
They break up at the Super Bowl. She comes down when he loses. He's sitting there with his hand in his face in his hand, and he's upset, and they just lost. And Brock Purdy's up there waving the trophy around.
She's brought in on an aerial wire.
Yeah,
from
they
the box.
bring her down like Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania 12 down to the field, and she stands above him and just throws back her promise ring that he gave her. I'm making the promise ring up. Maybe. We don't know. All right. So she throws it at him and says, "I only date winners."
You're done.
You're done.
That is the wrestling in you.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
It all comes back to wrestling.
That's what we want to see.
So
Who
you
would
gotta
love that moment?
I would.
Yeah.
I would sign up.
And then Jason Kelsey comes down and body slams her through a table.
And then he announces he's playing for the Bills next year.
Yeah. See,
that would be it. That would
on
be very
Bet Parks.
wrestling. That would be very wrestling of you.
Yeah. Well.
So Wrestlemania is coming up.
Big deal, buddy.
Tell me all about it. Tell me what I need to know.
So there's a lot.
I know nothing, and I've told you already.
Yeah, you're not a wrestling guy, so let me catch you up here of what's going on in the world. The Rock came back a couple weeks ago, or last Friday, and challenged Roman Reigns. The problem with that is that because everybody, yes, you think The Rock's the biggest star in the world. It's very exciting that he's back. However, the wrestling nerds in the world, the marks, the smarks, are upset because Cody Rhodes has yet to finish his story. Ever since coming back to the WWE, he won the Rumble 2 years in a row. He lost to Roman at WrestleMania last year, so he's got another shot at it. He wins the Royal Rumble just a few weeks ago, and he points up at Roman Reigns. And
calls him out.
And then SmackDown last Friday night, he's standing face-to-face with him, and he says for no reason, out of nowhere, he says, "You know what? I'm going to finish my story with you, but not at WrestleMania." And then, "If you smell," and then The Rock comes out.
No.
Walks down the ring. Do you have goosebumps?
I do, actually. Pissed my pants a little bit.
The Rock comes out, and he gets in the ring, shakes hands with Cody. Cody walks out and then faces Roman head on. So now everybody's pissed because they're like, wait, this is The Rock just coming in being Hollywood.
Stealing the shine.
Now, one would say that it's probably an effort to create more buzz about WWE besides Vince McMahon shitting on people.
Right, trying to kind of offset that.
Yeah, so I get that,
Shitting on people. That's what he did.
Yeah, allegedly. So, so I think that that's part of the reason of why. Plus, I also think that we're being worked a little bit. I think that they want to because if Cody would have won and Cody were to go to Mania and win the title, the smart marks would have been like, oh, that's too predictable. We knew it was going to happen. Okay. And then they would turn on Cody. So in order to keep them loving Cody, you got to take it from him again.
Right
from his face.
Because he's
Who better to do it than The Rock?
And it's like in wrestling, you have the heels and the
babyface.
And the babyface. So he's a babyface. Cody is.
Yeah, big time
Babyface.
Yep. And The Rock is.
See, I know a little bit.
You're in there.
A little bit.
Hire this guy. The Rock is too a babyface.
Right, he's a babyface. Yeah.
But it's starting to become more in heel territory because because everybody's pissed that he's doing this. So and everybody knows that he's now part running the show because he's like a chair member or a board member or whatever of TKO, which is the company that owns WWE now.
And maybe he could be in line for Vince McMahon's.
It kind of is.
He kind of is.
It's him and Triple H kind of running the show.
The strings.
Yeah. So I think everybody's upset with that. But either way, I don't care. I want The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania.
That's amazing. I'm in for that.
Yeah, in Philly? Are you kidding me? And also, there's another story from Philadelphia with The Rock and Roman because about, I don't know, more than 5 years ago, probably 8 years ago now or so, there was a Royal Rumble that Roman Reigns won.
Okay.
And it was in Philadelphia. And at the time, the fans felt like Roman was kind of being forced down everybody's throat, like, and he was a babyface.
Sure.
So then The Rock came out and helped him win, and they booed him out of the building.
No.
The Rock and Roman.
Roman and Rock got booed.
Got booed in Philadelphia at Wells Fargo Center. So for them to come back now, wrestle at Lincoln Financial against each other in Philadelphia, that's storybook. That's great. So I'm
in. I want to go.
Yeah, hell
I think. Are you already got tickets? You're already situated?
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
Yeah. We've been a promotional partner with WWE leading up to this. So we've given out plenty of tickets, and
well, I'm gonna make the call to Baldini.
Hell yeah,
I'm going.
Let's go.
I'm gonna see you there.
Absolutely. Well, and it's not just like one night.
No, they have the SmackDown too, right?
Well, it's SmackDown.
Thursday.
No, Friday.
Friday, excuse me.
There is the NXT event because that's their other thing. That's going to happen in Philly. The Hall of Fame ceremony, that's going to happen in Philly. Then you have WrestleMania Night 1. Then you have WrestleMania Night 2. Then you have the Raw after WrestleMania. That's a whole week. I told my fiance, I'm like, yo, first week of April.
Forget it.
I don't even want to hear it.
NCAA tournament, don't even worry about it.
See ya.
Forget that.
I got invited to a fancy dinner in New York with a bunch of radio creeps, and I was like, look, WrestleMania's in Philly.
I'm kind of
busy. Serious?
I got something going
on. My nephew was just born, and they were like, hey, do you want to come in April? And I was like, about that.
See about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm already calling it.
Absolutely.
I wonder what athletes they're gonna bust out.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't it be great?
Kelsey definitely.
Yeah, well, they do the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, where it's like 20 people over the top rope, and they usually have like a celebrity in there. There's no reason why Jason Kelsey shouldn't be one of those people.
That I can get behind.
Yeah, put that on Bet Parks. Is Jason Kelsey going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
I think they've talked about betting on wrestling as being a thing.
Yeah, I think they do in some.
You can in certain states.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I know, like, because it's scripted, so it's like,
Yeah, like,
well, if I'm one of the guys writing the script, I'm just
how can that how can that even be?
Yeah.
Well, they probably have the same restrictions with like how like NFL players aren't supposed to.
Right.
But
right.
It goes on anyways.
Yep.
All right, last thing I want to talk about is the Eagles in Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get your take on it.
I think it's pretty cool, right? Like, I mean, I know some people are upset that it's counting as a home game, so there's only going to be 8 games in South Philly.
One less tailgate video we get to make.
Totally. Which we love making.
We do love that.
Yeah.
Talk about pageantry. You say you love
absolutely.
Pageantry. That's what I love.
And shout out to the Smooth Tailgates. We got to get you out at one of those.
Yeah,
man.
we got to get
those. Are a rager.
We were at a couple last year. They're top notch. The best.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, I would say it's cool that I think it's cool. And it's probably for the best that it's week 1 for Philly, because what does that game mean?
Right.
And maybe it's a momentum builder if they're able to go to Brazil and do this, whatever.
I think it's going to be Packers for the sake of the colors, the green and the yellow.
Oh, really?
They're one of the last teams that like they could possibly be matched up for this game.
Oh, wow.
Some of their opponents that have or that they could be playing. I think the Panthers are already going overseas. Somebody else is already going overseas. So like it's down to like only a couple that it could be. And
well, as a Lions fan at heart, I hope they kick the shit out of them.
Oh yeah, you gotta hate them.
Hate the Packers.
Hate them.
I always hate it. It sucks too because it's like now they have another good quarterback. How does this keep happening to them?
Man, oh man.
You know,
that's a brutal situation.
So go Birds on that one.
Go Birds and go Brazil. This has been a lot of fun, man. I love having you come in here and shoot the shit, man. It's great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is fun. You ready to start the podcast now?
Yeah, you want to start?
Yeah. All right.
Here we go. Into our sports betting picks of the week. Here we go. It's the Kansas City Chiefs on the 49ers.
Go Niners, I guess. I don't know.
Go Niners is the pick.
Go me.
Go you.
Yeah.
Anything else you got to share with us? What's going on? What's coming up next for you?
We are about to give away a car and a trip to Miami. Too. Yeah. So that'll be starting last week of February. You'll get all the details soon. So keep listening to Q102 every afternoon, 3 to 7. Listen all day. It's the greatest radio station in Philadelphia.
It is.
Maybe America. It's not been tested anywhere, but maybe. I'm not talking to you anymore, Malloy. I'm talking to them.
Buster from Q102, Shot in a Beer Show. Over and out.
With no shots and no beer, by the way. Somebody needs to talk to somebody
around. I love it.
Yeah, that was good shit, buddy.
You're the best.
That was great.
That was
good.
Good stuff there. That was like exactly how I wanted it to go. That was exactly.
Thanks.
They gave us like